No, they haven't put me in jail, but maybe they should. But this iron fence that separates the garage area and the pit area here at Charlotte Motor Speedway serves as a good prop for our next story. A few weeks ago, when the NASCAR Winston Cup Series went to California for the road course at Sonoma, California, some of the drivers visited Alcatraz. And that is the subject of this week's Inside NASCAR Profile.
Lombard Street here in San Francisco is one of the most famous streets in the world. Can you imagine Winston Cup cars winding their way down this crooked street? While in the area for the Winston Cup race, a handful of drivers actually drove their Cup cars through the city, starting at the Golden Gate Bridge. They also checked out another famous attraction, Alcatraz.
Welcome to Alcatraz, folks.
What we're going to do here is we're going to give you a tour. You want to see this island, correct?
The federal penitentiary here was open for 29 years, from 1934 to 1963, and it was created largely in response to a particular historical era, namely the Prohibition era, all of the bootlegging and gangsterism and lawlessness that occurred during that time. And the idea behind this federal penitentiary was that this was the place where they would concentrate the so-called incorrigibles of the federal criminal justice system.
NASCAR drivers Dale Jarrett, Robbie Gordon, and Rick Mast took part in the tour, hearing of the legendary Al Capone to the escape attempt of 1946 involving 6 inmates.
They took a number of the correctional officers hostage here. They had lots of keys. The key that they wanted was the key for that door that's at the very end of this corridor. That leads out to the recreation yard, and they hoped from there to freedom. But they didn't have that key. So here they had the guards hostage. They had taken over the cell block, and they held it for a number of days. The Bureau of Prisons called in the military and the National Guard and everybody else to try to reclaim the cell block, which they eventually succeeded in doing.
The tour concluded with a visit from former inmate Leon Whitey Thompson.
Went to prison behind a number of bank holdups after World War II. I went to McNeil Island, and I didn't get along with the guards too well up there. And to be honest with you, I tried to kill a couple of guards, and that's when they transferred me to Alcatraz. And this here was the end of the line. I like to think about some of the humorous things that happen here on Alcatraz. I leave all the other garbage behind.
What was a story or a fact that you picked up that really stood out for you?
I think the story of a Whitey that spent 4.5 years here, that he spoke to us, and his experiences here, and what he is aware of happening in the world today, and I think that was the most touching story.
You know, you've heard all the stories and seen the movies, and it's just an incredible place. I mean, to imagine that people lived here and functioned here, you know, it looks like a long swim, and I know it is a long swim, but if I had to be here for any length of time, I think I'd have to try to make it.
Yeah. Nobody knows. I deserve to be here. Trouble us. Shut these jail cells like they did me a while ago, and they open them up. Sometimes they hang up and you can't get out. You know what I mean? I'm out. You know, I was locked in that thing and couldn't get out, and I looked around. I think, well, I'm in here for however many more minutes it's going to take them getting the door unlocked. I think, well, these other guys were in here forever. I don't see how they can do it.
It's right here at Sears Point Raceway. We're going to meet a couple of active race car drivers by the name of Jason Priestley and Craig T. Nelson. All that straight ahead on Mornings on 2.
Live from KTVU, Mornings on 2. The #1 morning newscast in the Bay Area.
14 minutes after 7 o'clock. I got to tell you, Brian, Mr. Somerville is green with envy that you're up at Sears Point.
Are you going to get in one of the race cars and drive around? Oh, wait, they have a stick. That's right, and you don't know how to drive a stick.
Well, sure I know how to drive a stick, Ellen, and you're half in an old car. I want to tell you, though, Frank, I've been looking at some of these race cars, and they're a lot like your Porsche without the lotion. They're pretty close. We're going to talk to Jason Priestley, who was here in the California Grand Prix this weekend, as well as Craig T. Nelson. That's this Mornings on 2 continues.
Let's go for a ride. Let's go for a ride. Let's go for a ride. Go for a ride.
Sears Point Raceway fans are getting the ride of their lives by donating to charity. Some of the world's best professional road warriors are suiting up to raise money for different children's speedway charities. And for a donation of just $10, wannabe speed freaks got on the back of a street-legal 750cc motorcycle.
Speed sounds fun. It's great that I can give something back. Something that my talent or something that the people that they would want to see me here, or something that I can do as far as a community service of helping the people and just giving some people some rides and having some fun today.
The professional speed freaks will be at Sears Point this weekend for the McGraw Superbike Challenge. Last year's charity event raised $3,000 for AIDS research.